Friends, my goodness, you all have made the seriously questionable decision. Hellfire and Brimstone, here you are with us, the latest episode of Long Tracks and Tall Tales. I, as usual, am still and continue to be your host, Scott G. Davis of Myth of Logic, and my good friend, Mr. Christopher Clark, also of Myth of Logic. Christopher, how are we today?
We are fan-effing-tastic.
Yes, we are. And the reason we're fan-effing-tastic is that my old and dear friend Mark Case is on the show today. And Mark and I go way, way back. Longer than we'd probably like to admit. But today, all those facts are coming to life. Mark has a very interesting history as a musician and a player and a songwriter. And he worked at Gibson for decades, correct?
About 16 years.
About 16 years, yeah. So
a decade and a half.
Yeah.
A decade and a half.
Over a decade.
Yeah. And Mark has, among many other things that most of you will find interesting, he has some stories about Alex Lifeson from dealings with Alex at Gibson. So first off, Mark, tell us about yourself, where you're from, and a little bit about your background.
Well, like you said earlier, we've known each other for a long time, Scott. I'm from Topeka, Kansas, and I grew up there, just small Midwestern town, you know, good values and good place to grow up. But I got hooked on the guitar really early, you know, I think after I saw Kiss, and then, you know, it just kind of went from there. It was crazy. But then I started taking guitar lessons, and interestingly, one of my first electric guitar teachers was a friend of yours, Scott, a dear friend of yours named Joe Green.
Oh, remember yes. That name? Oh, yes.
Yeah. And Joe, he was the first guy to show me the lick from The Spirit of Radio.
Oh.
And can you imagine seeing somebody play that in person for real? Like wow, he knows how to play that song, that riff. So I was hooked from that moment on. And, you know, I was in bands over the years, and Scott and I were in a couple bands together. You know, we had some fun gigs back in the day.
Yeah. Back in the Hairspray days.
Oh my God. That you don't have to give me dirt on. I've seen some pictures of Scott.
Oh, yeah. Yep. They were glorious, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But we had a good time, you know, and
we did.
We played all over the Midwest, and, you know, we mainly play cover songs, but after a while, you know, we started writing our own stuff, and Scott really wrote some really cool tunes back in the day. And so I remember the rehearsal hall we had in 6th and Kansas in Topeka, and there's this ginormous,
that was
gymnasium type place. And we had the 4-track machine, you know, and we were just geeking out and trying all sorts of different things and writing songs, and that was fun.
Yeah. In those days, that would have been Code 202 was the name of that band.
I think so, yeah, Code 202.
And you were the songwriter at the time. You wrote pretty much everything. And those were great songs. They were of the time. They were very current, you know, mid to late 80s rock songs. And there's some there was some killer stuff in there.
Well, thank you. I think I still have some 4-tracks that we recorded back in the day that one of these days I need to put them on the computer and dump them down to the digital. So
I think I have them somewhere. Yeah.
Who was your drummer?
Kevin Horton.
Kevin Horton. Yeah.
Great drummer.
Great drummer.
Kept great time, and he was very energetic and just a great all around player.
Yeah, very powerful. Easy hang too. Kevin was an easy guy to be around.
Totally.
Unlike me. In those days, now everybody's going to gloss it over, but in those days, I know what I was. I was a prick. I
Oh
was
no, no,
not.
no.
As
I was.
opposed to now where you're not.
I was not
Oh,
nice to
God.
people. I was very driven and very angry, and I wanted everybody to know just exactly how angry I was. And,
Angry young
anyway,
man. Angry
let's
young
not
man.
talk about me.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about me. So, Mark, where did you go after that period?
Well, after the rock days, I kind of gravitated to playing in a country band with
Mhm.
another friend of ours named Tony Lichter. He was
Yeah.
the lead singer, and we had a pretty good country band that toured around the Midwest and played a lot of great shows, opened up for a lot of the top artists of the time. But it was kind of wasn't really going anywhere, if you know what I mean. We were just doing these gigs
Stagnant.
and kind of making a living at the time. And it was in a band called Midnight Run, and
Yeah.
it
That
was
was a
my
good
brother.
band. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother Steve was the drummer, so Steve
Mhm.
Case, shout out.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
and a bass player by the name of Terry Wright, which he goes by the name Wiz because he
Wiz.
could listen to something and just play it back to you instantaneously. It's
Well,
insane
that's
the
awesome.
talent the guy has.
Hmm.
But after that band folded, um, there was a couple of the guys that were in the band, the last version of the band. They had moved to Nashville, and they kind of got hooked up with I think the Martina McBride camp and all those guys.
Oh
Mhm.
wow.
And yeah, and so they were really making headway here. And I would talk to them occasionally, and they're like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm still in Kansas. I'm working part-time in the music store and all this other stuff, and trying to play some gigs in there." He goes, "You need to maybe think about moving to Nashville." And I thought, well, okay, let me come visit. So I drove down there one time and visited those guys, and went down on Lower Broadway where all the bands play,
Oh yeah.
and
At
was
11
just
a.m. They'll be on.
11 a.m.
Yep.
It's
There's
Yep.
music
ridiculous.
from like
I've never
11
seen that.
a.m. to 2 a.m. I
Yeah,
think.
it's
Cool.
ridiculous. I mean, I went out for
Yeah,
breakfast, go out, and there's like 15 bands playing. I'm like, it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
I know it's crazy,
Crazy.
but
It is. It's
but
nuts.
the level of talent there was
Yeah.
just it was so addictive. We'd go from bar to bar, just watch killer player after killer player.
Yeah.
And that got me really inspired. And so I went back to Kansas, and I thought, I need to save up. And at one point, make the move and just get out of here, because I kind of felt I was to the point to where I don't know what else was going to be next, but I think it had to be something big. So like let's move to Nashville. So I made the move. And for the first year or so, I played some gigs here and there, played on Broadway a couple times, hooked up with some other songwriters, and started like making our own demos and so forth. But at some point, you have to eat, and I wasn't really making a whole lot of money back then. And randomly, I answered a want ad in the back of the newspaper that Gibson was looking for people in customer support and things like that.
Hmm.
So I answered the ad in the paper, and lo and behold, after a couple of interviews, they said, "You're hired." I thought, okay, this is cool. A steady gig, health benefits,
No
let's
kidding.
let's go let's go that way. And from that point on, my career moved to Gibson, being a product specialist. Um, and after my first year at the corporate office, I moved over to the custom shop, and that's where the higher end guitars are made, the historic reissues, the signature models, and things like
Right.
that. And over the years, I kind of got to be there when some of these artists would come in and do the signings and all this stuff, walk around the factory and meet people and all that stuff. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And I'm thinking, this guy was on my wall back in the day. And wow, it's just kind of bizarre meeting some of your guitar heroes. But fast forward probably, I think, probably 10 years. The last 6 years that I was there, I really stepped into doing more artist hanging, if you will, working on the contracts, and meeting with some of them and kind of going over what they need on the guitar. But um, after a while, I got to be the guy that was handing guitars to the artist when they would sign it, and which was
Mhm.
bizarre to me because
That
I mean
is
we had a
so
great
cool.
guy. There was a great guy at Gibson by the name of Pat Foley, and Pat is gone right now. But he was one of those guys that had Jimmy Page on star on his phone and all these guys. So he was the man that really handled all that stuff. But after he left Gibson, um, some of us kind of picked up the slack, and so that's how I kind of got to hang with Alex Lifeson a lot, which it again was
I am
bizarre to me.
eternally envious of you. I
Oh
am
man,
eternally envious of that. That
I
is amazing.
still have to pinch myself, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
The first time, like, and I'm looking at Scott's framed stuff back there, and I think that's the stuff I've collected over the years. When Alex came to town,
That's awesome.
and he was doing some of the signings, and of course we had Sharpies that he had to sign the back of the headstock and all that. And so I had a notebook there, and he would just kind of doodle and kind of get the marker ready to sign the headstock. And I thought, I know somebody who would like to have that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I
wish I had known you. I'd have been another one who would have taken
right.
that.
Yeah. So over the years, I collected some of those little doodle sheets, you know, that he practices autograph on. And one of those, I think the yellow one was the original Les Paul Access, which is the product page that you have in there. That was the first Alex Lifeson model that Gibson Custom released. And then a few years later, around the R40 tour, they wanted to have another guitar to celebrate the R40. And that white sheet right there, yeah, that's the one where I actually went to Tulsa for the Rush rehearsals when they were at the BOK Center.
Before they started on tour, yeah.
I have been offered ignorant money
really?
For this pat. Yeah, it's unobtainium. They don't exist. Look for another one. You'll never find it.
Yeah.
But I will never, ever, ever part with this stuff.
That's right.
Unless Mark asks for it back someday.
No. I gave that to you, man, because I thought I know who would really love this.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I've never, you know, and it's so special to me because it's not just an Alex Lifeson autograph. He did autograph both of these sheets, but it's Alex Lifeson original artwork, one of a kind. Doodle.
Exactly.
You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just
no one will ever have that again. There's one.
Nope. There's one of each of those. Yeah. So and then there's guitar picks mounted up there. You got
from the R. Yeah, make sure to snag a bunch of those.
Hang on.
So was he a really nice guy? Did you have lots of conversations with him?
Oh, fantastic. You know, the first signing that he came to do, I think, was in, let me look at my notes, in 2011 when the Les Paul Access was released. And I was just kind of a bystander at the time. I was kind of helping organize all the guitars. But he was very genial and very, hey, Marcos, how's it going? Nice to meet you. I'm like, hey, good to see you. And I'm
good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, sir. I'm freaking out here. The fanboy in me is going,
I got no word.
Yeah. But then fast forward to when I took the R40 guitars to Tulsa.
Was that the double neck or?
No, that came later. But I did take the double neck proto to Tulsa, and I sent you a video because we set up a little area backstage. Because some of the guys from Guitar Center were there because I think they had an exclusive for the first few model releases. And so they wanted to shoot a promo video. So in the back of the BOK Center, we had this room where I had I think like 50 guitars. So I brought in the racks and, set them all out on the rack. And I thought it'd be a good idea to get some road cases. And they were like, hey, yeah, that's good. So we went out to the hallway and there's like Rush, drums. Rush, stage right, and I go, we have to get the stage left one, take the stage left. So we set up this set, and I was like, this looks so cool.
Yeah, it does.
So I sent Scott a couple pictures of me just kind of sitting there with this fitting grin on my face. I get here.
I'll add those to this video in post so everybody can see them. Yeah,
awesome. And so we did the signing, and he came in, and it was a couple hours because we had to sign 50 guitars. And there was a camera crew just kind of filming everything. And I was the guy handing guitars to him, and shooting the shit. Say, hey, how's it going? How are the rehearsals going? Hey, guys, you guys want to come to see the rehearsals tonight? I'm like, yeah.
My God, please tell me.
Yeah. So that's how that rehearsal access pass came to be, because they came back and they said, hey, why don't you guys come back and watch the rehearsal? And I thought, how did I get here? This is insane. So can you imagine? So there I was later that night after we did the signing and all that. And I think it was their final run through for the show before opening night. Mm-hmm. and I'm sitting there in the arena with probably
You got a private concert. You got a private concert.
Like 5 or 10 other guys, empty arena, and I'm like, I couldn't take any photos or videos because because at that time they were like, hey, no photos or videos because I didn't know at the time that they were going to dismantle the set as they went along.
Yeah,
and to watch that was really cool. And I'm like, I can't tell anybody about that.
To see that, you were one of the very to see that tour, what they did with it.
That was insane.
It was. It's so cool.
But but the funny thing about that thing is I was hanging with Alex pretty much all day, and I didn't see Getty, I didn't see Neil, but I think I had to step out of the room for a while and was going down the hallway, and here comes Neil. And I'm like,
oh God in heaven.
Oh my God. Inside I'm thinking, this is Neil Peart. Oh my God. And so I just, hey, how's it going? And I was kind of continuing on my way. And in the back, I'm thinking, just met.
Did he talk to you? Did he say hi?
Not really. Well, he just kind of gave me the nod.
Nod.
Yeah. Because,
quite an introverted person, Neil.
Yeah.
Indeed. So I thought, well, that's as close as I'm ever going to get to meeting
Professor. I'm counting it. You met Neil. I'm counting it.
You walked up by the guy, and that's an acknowledgement that you were there.
But that was crazy. Okay, so after the R40 signing, again, I mentioned I brought the double neck with me, which is the prototype, and they had spec'd it out from his original, of course. And I'm going to send you another video, Scott, of when he came back to Nashville. And I think it was in November of 2015. So this was after the R40 tour wrapped up.
Yeah.
And so we had, I think, 25 double necks that were going to be released, and he was going to come to town and sign them. And again, I was the guy that, pick him up from the hotel, him and Andy Curran, which was his guy from the organization. And we went back to the custom shop, signed the guitars, and during this signing, I had to step out again and do something, and I looked out the window and I noticed that some of the record label people had shown up because I saw like a few black SUVs, and so those guys came in and kind of hung out with us when we were finishing the signing. And afterwards, we were going to go over to our marketing building to shoot like a proper video of him talking about the guitar and all that stuff. And I assumed he was going to pop into the SUVs with the record labels and record label guys and meet us over there. But he turned to me and goes, "Hey, Mark, you going to drive over?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just ride with you."
Oh my God.
Okay. So
I'm dying. Thinking, I'd be like, "Oh my Lord, I'm living a dream. Right. This is amazing."
Well, it gets even better because I'm not making this up. Go out to my car, start it up. Alex gets in to the passenger seat. Right away, I'm freaking out. But then I start the car up and the radio comes on and it's a Rush song. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
You played this. You are sitting in my car.
Here I am in my car with Alex Lifeson in my passenger seat. I start the car. I had satellite radio on or something, and a Rush song comes on. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And he goes, "Yeah, that is pretty cool."
Okay. Said, okay, friends, that's all we've got for the rest of eternity. No story will ever top that. So we are just not going to bother. Done. It's a wrap.
That is unreal.
So talk about a fanboy moment. I was like, how did this happen? It's just crazy.
Do you remember what song it was?
It was probably like Limelight or Free Will.
It would be like one of the more
radio
released. Yeah. Okay.
What's funny is that when I did, and it took a second for him to go, "Oh, that's us on the radio." And so I wasn't going to say anything, but hey, there it is.
That is so cool.
And that was probably the last time that I saw him, on a personal level, other than this last time going up to Chicago to see the first night of the Chicago shows.
Yeah, I saw the Fort Worth. I saw the very last Fort Worth show. So,
what did you think? Was it fantastic?
Dude, you can't. I as you can clearly see, I don't know if you see around me, but they're my favorite band in the world. This is all.
Oh, look at that! Oh, that's fantastic.
Those are Neil's Sticks from Red Rocks.
Really?
Yeah. I am a gargantuan fan, and everybody assumed well, Neil's gone. Neil was your hero. You're a drummer. You're not going to want to deal with. No, that's not. Couldn't be further from the truth. And oh my God, were they marvelous in Fort Worth? I mean,
oh man,
Getty is on another level. I didn't, I don't know if you saw. I'm sure you did see him in R40 because you were there and you did all that. You heard his voice is so much better on this tour than it was during R40. So much better.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and they just Annika has re-energized those gentlemen, and you can feel it reverberating off of all the walls and the coming from the stage, and it's just beautiful, and I'm just so happy that they're doing it, and they're wonderful. So
that's the one thing I noticed is the first few songs I could tell Getty was on that night. And he was just having a great time.
Blast. He's just loving it, and it warms my heart to see it.
Well, and not only that, Mark, Chris got the special set list, the set list they haven't played anywhere else. He got all of Moving Pictures and all of 2112.
Oh,
yeah, no one else has got
We're the only show that they have played the entirety of 2112 and the entirety of Moving Pictures.
Ah, man, I'm jealous. Yeah.
They played 2112. They did the Neil Time Stand Still tribute, and then they played all of Moving Pictures. It was
wow.
Amazing. Yeah, it was amazing.
That would have been. Well, I think I pulled up the set list of what they played when I saw them.
Night one for Chicago
was
the same as night one for LA. I think
it was LA. Yeah, it was set list A. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was
so you got the first
stunning.
3 parts of 2112.
2112. Yeah. And then just everything from.
There's not a bad set list. All of them are great.
Yeah, all of them are great. Well, Mark,
I'm envious of the two. I'm envious of the 2 shows that have seen them play a Farewell to Kings because they've only played it twice.
Yeah, that's a select piece there. Mark, tell us about the coda to you going to see the Chicago show with your wife. Tell that story about taking her to see them in Chicago.
Let me back up to
please.
After the double neck signing. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me.
We always fly off.
Just kind of going everywhere.
That's how we do it. Yeah.
What's funny is my wife and I just got engaged a few months before Alex came to town to do the signing and all that, and we arranged to take a trip out to Maui over, I think it was the Thanksgiving weekend or that whatever it was, and so after we did the Alex signing that day for the double neck. They were going to fly back to Toronto, and my wife and I were flying to Maui, and we ran into him at the airport. Because I went home and I told my wife Kim, I said, "You're not going to believe what happened today. Alex got in my car and I started it up, and boom, boom, boom," And she was like, "Oh, that's amazing." And what's funny, some of the guys she used to date back in the day, they liked Rush, but she'd never seen Rush before. Right. And just so happens we ran into those guys at the airport that night, and I was able to, "Hey, Alex, I'd like to meet my fiance."
You're like, "Hey, good friend from."
Yeah. "Hey, good friend. Nice to meet you." That's amazing. So she was like, "Wow, I got to meet one of the guys from Rush." I go, that's amazing. So fast forward to last month when we went to Chicago, we saw the show, and she kind of did the deep dive because she goes, "Well, I know the songs, but I never really listened to like the deep cuts." And I think she was listening to Hemispheres because she's like, "I really love the trees, man. I hope they do the trees tonight." And I go, "I hope they do too. I can't believe you like that song. That's amazing." So we saw the show. We both had a fantastic time. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that we got to see the show, and met Alex a few years ago." And I go, "What more do you want? That's great."
Yeah.
But she goes, "Well, you want to go see him again?" And I said, "You want to willingly go see another Rush show?" Of course. Well, they're playing in Atlanta in November, and I go, "I'll look for tickets. I'll do it right now." She goes, "Okay, let's do it." So
I am very envious, and I love my wife, and my wife tolerates my frog obsession, and she has seen Rush once with me, and she saw the first set. "Oh wow, they're very, very good." And now I'm done, and she stayed
there you
the
go.
whole show,
yeah.
but she didn't want. She just not. If you're not a Rush fan, you don't want to see a full another set of them. but she didn't ask me to leave or anything like that. She one
That's
set
good.
of them was enough for her. But she
I get
did
it.
comment
Yeah.
on how good they were and how much, wow, they sound exactly like their album. And I'm like, yeah, they do. That's
Yeah.
My
That's
lovely
awesome.
wife Angie loves them as much as I do. I mean, she was peripherally aware when we met, but we started going to see them. It was on the R30 tour when we first saw them, and then we saw them again on Snakes and Arrows, and
nice.
We saw the R40 show. We saw them together about 4 or 5 times. We saw Test for Echo together. I think that was the first time we saw them. Test for Echo. Yeah. So yeah, it's not hard to convince her, but we're just, I'm keeping an eye out for tickets, but it's just, I just can't justify it. I can't justify it. I've got a new Myth of Logic album to pay for next year. The last one cost me $6,000. The new one's going to be more than that. I don't know how much more, but and when you're weighing things in your life as to what's important, I would love to see Rush again. But Mark, I got to see them 21 times over the years.
Wow.
So I think maybe I've gotten my share, and if we miss them, I mean, if some tickets fall in our laps, we'll go. We'll absolutely go.
Yeah,
but it's unfortunately the amount of money that they're asking is just, it's beyond what we can justify.
I did not know that 21 was your number. Mine's 24.
21. Yeah, 21.
Wow.
24 after the Fort Worth was the 24th time.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen them 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it out of you. You had Alex Lifeson in your
but yours are all gold, man.
Well, whatever.
And I've only had Alex Lifeson in my car,
Yeah.
Well, Mark,
in my car. So.
Well, speaking of,
the
ticket prices, funny story is when we were trying to get tickets for this show in Chicago, we were actually overseas on vacation somewhere, and I got on the Ticketmaster website, and it was kicking me out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to log in to get Rush tickets. I had my VPN on and everything, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just trying to refresh, and it was blocking me. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to miss tickets. We're going to miss tickets. And so, of course, Kim, she was, I'll get my phone out. And she right away, hey, I found some good seats in this section. You want to get them? Wow. Like, absolutely. And didn't realize they were part of one of the, the VIP packages that they were offering, which was fine because it came with this lovely Rush little thing. And I got our little VIP.
It has a lanyard.
VIP laminate. And the cool part was, and it came with our little,
the Rush.
That's cool. That's
I'm
cool.
I'm gonna be looking for one of those. I want one of those real bad. So
that's
cool.
Sure they came in white and blue.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we actually got 2 of those little packs, which that's cool. I think
that's very
keep
cool.
Those. Yeah, so yeah. But so we're going to go see them again in November, and I think you guys were talking about it on one of your shows, maybe last month, that you would love to see the band after 40 or 50 shows under their belt.
Yeah, and that'll be about that time.
Yeah, and I thought, well, let's go see them again, because I'm sure they're they'll gel even more than what they're doing now.
The way Annika plays and her style and her history as a player and composer is much more, her pocket is way wider. She's more of a behind the beat player, and you can see her start to flex her muscles a little bit. The other guys are coming to her there. You can, in every time they do, I've just watched the New York show, the first one, and you can feel them gelling as a trio,
right?
The 3 of them, and Lauren as well.
They're getting better.
So totally. I think that's a correct assessment by, God willing, and the creek don't rise, and Geddy's voice holds up. I mean, by November, they should be an absolutely well-oiled machine.
And I think it will hold up because of the way they've scheduled everything. They're giving him plenty of time in between shows to
totally.
Well, and my wife and I were talking about this week. The New York shows are not only sold out; it's nearly impossible to try. There's almost nothing on the resale market. And I was researching a little bit. What happened was, if you guys will cast your mind back to when they first announced the tour, it was Chicago and New York and LA and a few sparse things. And that was, it looked like that was going to be it. So all of the fans from Europe were dogpiling on the New York
they bought New
shows.
York.
And
They sure
so
did.
people are coming from all over the world to the New York shows. And that's why they're not only sold out, those people don't want to sell those tickets because they made plans.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. But the one New York show I watched, there's an excellent full show recording of it. You know, I'm not going to use a cell phone camera if I go, but I'm selfishly glad someone is doing it.
Yeah.
But they're pretty good. Now, Mark, I'd like to hear you rewind just a little bit. You kind of skipped over your fun job that's not Rush related, but your position at the Gibson Custom Shop driving the truck.
Oh yeah. So when I moved over to the custom shop, I got hired to operate our traveling exhibit, which was this mobile showroom.
So cool.
And we took it all over the country to visit dealers, music festivals, trade shows, and things like that. And so I was the guy that would basically hop in the truck and drive it around the country and set up in parking lots and meet the public. And so it was a cool idea. Basically, a mobile showroom had slat wall on each side of the interior, and you could hang probably 20 guitars on one side. And so I would always take a good mix of what the custom shop was offering at the time, from historic reissues to artist models to newer models and things like that. And we had these little, the Line 6 pods that we had a couple on each side of the trailer where people could just put the headphones on and plug in and play the guitars. Which was great because they're just rocking out and cranking it up, and I don't have to hear it.
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
But it was fun. And I did it too. But every now and then we would have one of the Gibson amps on the trailer, and of course somebody would go in there and crank it up, and it's like, oh my God, turn that down.
Yeah, those were loud.
But it was a fun gig. I got to meet a lot of the public and meet a lot of the Gibson dealers around the country, and do a lot of the guitar shows and trade shows. And so
sounds like your move to Nashville worked out really well for you.
It did. I when I reminisce and think back to it was a leap of faith. I was kind of scared to go to do it. Yeah, I've been here 25 years now.
Wow,
and awesome. It's worked out really good.
Cool place, man. I saw Greta Van Fleet in Franklin, Tennessee, down there. Yeah, and they live there. And apparently, if you go down on Broadway on any given day, you'll go to one of the bars. They'll just be in there, just playing around. They're really, really laid back, cool guys. And I think that's a really cool part of Nashville. It's like there's lots of celebrities in the music scene there, and they're just all over the place. You can run into them.
Yeah, I've seen my fair share, run into people. And of course, you want to be cool, it's like don't.
Yeah, you got to be a fanboying over everybody.
Yeah, totally.
Mark will probably back me up on this. It was probably very useful for you coming to Nashville, coming from a place like Topeka, which was a smaller town, but just absolutely filled to the rim with great musicians and really good bands. If you wanted to play in that town on a regular basis, it was almost expected you would have some original material, and you better not suck. There were even the bands I didn't care for didn't suck. They were still entertaining, talented bands.
Absolutely.
I don't really remember any, I don't remember any lousy, sort of cast it off garage style bands. Everybody was well rehearsed and had lighting and. It was a great, what I'm saying is it was a great place to come up when you and I came up. And then you moved to Nashville, and it's kind of just this huge, crazy version of the same thing with 100 times more of everything.
Well, what I imagine, and I've never lived in Nashville, but what I imagine is if you're in Topeka or in Odessa and you're a good musician, really good, you probably get a reality check when you go to Nashville and realize how many good musicians there really
very quickly, because that one of my intentions was to maybe get a road gig, in some artist band or whatever. But found out real quick, like you said, those guys are they're monster players.
So many of them.
Yeah. And I thought,
it really is.
My main passion is songwriting, so let's do songwriting. So And so that's what I pursued, over the years.
Fascinating.
And
you have a very you, for someone who doesn't speak about themselves very often, you did a very good job of speaking.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You did a very good job.
I'm more of a listener than a talker.
Well, you're very entertaining, and you have a very, very cool history. That's really
thank you.
So, Mark, what have you have boiling right now, and what is sort of on the horizon for you?
Well, right now I got a couple things going on. First and foremost, I've been co-writing a lot of songs with a friend of mine that you know as well by the name of Jim Bush.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We've known Jim since '86.
Yeah.
In high school days.
Yeah.
And it's funny that we've written stuff over the years. Anytime we got together, I think he lived in Texas, I lived in Kansas, and then I lived in Nashville, and then moving around, going across. Let me start that again. Edit that out. Edit that out. Yeah.
Edit.
Yeah. So I'm writing with my friend Jim Bush, and I've known him since high school, right? And over the years, anytime we get together, we always end up writing a chorus or a song, So probably since about 2018, we've been really pursuing, let's write some stuff. I think we've got some good songs, and so we're really pursuing getting better, basically, and coming up with maybe 10 to 15 songs that we're really proud of, and we'll go into the studio and record them.
I was gonna say do an album.
Yeah, it's on the horizon. And so it's, I procrastinate a little bit because like Scott, I'm a perfectionist, and I like to listen to things like 20 million times before somebody else.
Oh, you're a Geddy Lee, huh? The final product is the devil, post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure Jim was wondering, hey, when are we going to get this done? We're almost 60, we need to get this stuff out the door. So that's one thing I'm working on.
Okay.
The other thing is I'm working with a dear friend of mine by the name of Danica Ports, and she's a singer-songwriter here in Nashville that I met probably 10 to 15 years ago. And she's making a lot of headway here in Nashville, and I started playing some county fairs with her back in the day. And then lately we've been doing some house concerts and acoustic shows where basically I'm her one-man band with a looper, or I used to have a kick drum that I would take out and just play acoustic guitar and hit the kick drum. And so she's got a project she's working on, which is going to be really amazing when it comes out.
Is it country?
And it's pop country, if you will, more pop, but it's
kind of
great
like
material.
Simpson, something like that. It's a little more on the pop vein, but it's still country.
More pop, yeah. And once, I don't know when she's going to release it, but I'm sure we'll try to go out and play some shows here and there and do songwriter nights and all that stuff. But that's pretty much all I got going on.
That sounds great. Sounds like you're keeping yourself busy.
Yeah, just trying, and
awesome.
And every time I see you on a FaceTime of any sort, it seems like there are more guitars behind you.
Oh God! I know. Look at that! Look at that! Oh my God!
Yeah, I think at night when you shut off the lights, they mate in the darkness and multiply.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, maybe guitar. It wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I don't know if you know this, Christopher, but the weird thing, I'm left-handed, so all of these are left-handed.
Yeah.
I'm left-handed.
Is that amazing?
I'm left-handed, and I play on a right-handed kit that's modified, so I play open-handed.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, just like if you've ever seen Simon Wright play, he's the same way. Right cymbal is over here, hi-hat is down here. That's basically the only difference. Is toms are set up the same way.
Very cymbal heavy on the left, and hardly any cymbals other than a couple of crashes on the right. I don't I ride everything with the left hand over here. I play the hi-hat with the left. I have splashes on the left. I have my woo-hon on the left. I do everything on the left, and just a couple of crashes on the right. No ride or anything like that. So,
nice. So you do some of the some fills like Ringo does, right? Because Ringo's left-handed.
Yeah, he is, and plays on the right hand.
Yeah,
what we call a modified right setup.
A modified. There you go.
And then I didn't realize this, but it's called open-handed playing. If you
open-handed,
if you play like this instead of like this.
Oh,
he never crosses his hands. They're always.
I don't cross unless I'm doing the kneel thing where I do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Which I do a lot. I do that a lot. So.
Yeah.
Well, man,
this has been so great, Mark. I'm glad we made time for this because I knew you had some some cool stories to relate, and that some of our watchers and listeners would appreciate what you had to say. And
oh yeah.
Well told. Well done, my son.
Well, thank you. For someone who doesn't talk about themselves that much.
Yeah, you did a really good job, man.
Yeah, well, there are stories. Yeah, there were stories there to tell. So, yeah. There's nothing else really to relate today. There's no new prog news or anything of that sort. Just kind of wanted to make this the Mark Case show today.
Oh, geez.
And I think we've succeeded in spades in annoying you for just about 39 minutes worth of airtime.
Nice,
and that's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Friends, if you want to find Myth of Logic, we are smearing ourselves all over the internet, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, all except Spotify. Fuck Spotify. You will find us everywhere. You can order from Bandcamp. You can get from Bandwagon USA. Very soon, some exciting news coming. I have finally worked out European distribution.
Oh, wow.
So you fans in Europe will very soon be able to order Myth of Logic CDs at low cost rather than the exorbitant shipping costs that you've been having to pay when I ship them.
Yep.
So
More
anyway,
than the CD, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Also, lest we forget, go to Facebook and at the very least, while you're doom scrolling, find your way over to Mr. Christopher's Facebook page and subscribe to his page so that you can see his album of the day. He's always got something cool and unique and different, and that nobody's probably ever heard of sometimes.
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So go and do that. And find Mark Case. You'll find his name eventually up there in lights for some song that he's written. Again, Mark, thank you for making time for us. I know you're very busy, and Mark and I have been friends for a long time. When we first started doing this, your name was on my list for somebody that I wanted to have on, and so I'm glad it's worked out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys had me on, and it was a pleasure to talk with you guys.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to meet you, man.
Great fun. All right, friends, until we are together again, be good to one another.
Smokes. Look at those things. Wow.
Hello. Good. How are you?
Honestly, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Look familiar?
Totally. Look at this. This is great. A horn fell on the original guitar and cracked the headstock. And here, that same crack is in this reissue. It's amazing. All the chips and scratches. I took better care of mine, actually. But no, it's awesome. That's fantastic. Beautiful. I'll take 50.
Done.
And then maybe number 1.
You're gonna get some cool edits out of this. I'm just Did you see the?
And that way, I've got lots of room there.
Exactly.
It's not too small.
Yeah. John, I wasn't here, but John shot a pretty good interview with him, right over
This
there.
is number 1
on that stool, and it was a little loud because of the background noise, but it was really cool. Because that story of that guitar is just magnificent.
Those guitars.
Yeah.
That looks great. I like that, don't you?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that looks nice.
Good. Looks really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks
I'll
sharp.
just beautiful.
600 more to go.